Hi everyone, this is Chaz, and this is a video journal for Saturday, July 21st, 2012. My last journal entry apparently ruffled quite a few feathers. Not that I'm surprised, I was pretty much on a angry rant, so... But to be fair, in the description of the video, I did warn people that, the language was rough, that I was pretty pissed off, and so, they were warned. Apparently, it really ruffled the feathers of one of my Facebook friends. I guess I should actually call her a former Facebook friend, because she went off on a tear and used some pretty foul language and told me to act my age, and then unfriended me on Facebook. I find it rather ironic, though, that a woman is telling me to act my age when the same woman spent thousands of dollars and 2 weeks of vacation and sick time from her job to get a facelift so that she doesn't look as old as she is. There's just a little bit of delicious irony there. Anyway, so what's going on? Basically, if you didn't watch my Angry Rant video, what happened is the apartment that I was supposed to be moving into in Chicago with Brian and Julia has fallen through. Brian's therapist, who has never met me, knows nothing about me other than the fact that I'm another gay man who is dealing with a breakup, has told Brian that they did not think that my being a roommate with him was a good idea, and apparently Julia had some issues with me because I asked her some questions about her. Basically what happened is Brian wanted me to talk to Julia on Facebook or on Skype so that we could get to know each other a little bit better, since we were going to be living together. And the first messages that were exchanged were basically Julia wanting to know how social I was, because she wanted to be able, with the apartment, because she wanted to be able to entertain her friends whenever she wanted, and that she wanted to have an open door policy with regards to her friends. Well, I simply asked her what she meant by an open door policy, and I mentioned that, I'm coming there, that I'm coming there for grad school. I'm on an academic scholarship, which means I have to maintain a certain grade point average. And so I want to know what she means by, an open door policy with her friends. Well, apparently, which by the way, she never answered the question. Well, apparently this didn't set too well with her. So she told Brian that she didn't feel comfortable, I guess, rooming with me, or she wasn't sure she'd be comfortable rooming with me. And Brian has decided that, since he has known Julia longer, and he has a history with Julia, that Julia has to get the room, or will be rooming with him. So I am, as of right now, still homeless for Chicago. I still have the option of rooming with Tarek, which is a possibility, although it basically means putting everything I own or that I'm going to keep in this storage, and living in Lake County and commuting into the city for class. But that's the it is still an option. Brian is the housing coordinator for CTS, and so it's kind of his job to help me find housing. So and apparently I am the last new student to find housing. I'm the last for a number of reasons. First off, I didn't anticipate living alone in Chicago when I got accepted to CTS. The plan was that I'd be living with David, and David would have a job, and I'd be going to school, and we'd be living together. So housing wasn't a real priority when I first got accepted. If I had known that all this was going to happen, that we were going to break up, and that I wouldn't be living with David in Chicago, then as soon as I got accepted, I would have contacted the housing coordinator. I would have done a lot of things if I, so I still have no place to live, although Brian says he's promised me that I will have an affordable and acceptable place to live, available for move-in on August 15th before orientation starts. He's promised me, because I am the only student that he has to find a place for. Now, it's not going to be probably nearly as affordable as the places that Brian offered me previously. One was $500 a month, the other was $400 a month. Of course, it was shared, so in each case, I was sharing with 2 other people. So, realistically, I'm looking at now probably living alone, and paying much higher rent because I'm going to be living alone. Or God only knows what kind of apartment I'm going to end up in, or what kind of neighborhood I'm going to end up in. But I have to trust that Brian is going to do his job, and find me a place. Haven't heard from him in a day or so. He was supposed to meet with some real estate agents and a couple people who are property developers to try and find me some place. I don't know how well that went. But I was really frustrated when he told me that he was going to have to withdraw the offer of rooming with him and Julia, because once again, I really felt like, okay, that's now settled. I have a place. I can start selling my stuff. I can move. I can prepare to move. And now I still kind of have to prepare to move, but I've got no idea where I'm moving to. So that's why I made that really angry rant, because I moved from sad to pissed. And I don't know why this former Facebook friend thought that anything that I had to say had to do with her. Other than the fact that she's a local friend who I guess could have fallen into the really hasn't done anything, except, give words here or there. Not that I'm expecting a lot from people, but, words on a screen are just so much. I got a phone call yesterday from a guy I went to high school with, who has been seeing what I've been posting and just wanted to make sure I was okay, And I haven't, he was a high school friend. So Barry Chesky, if you're watching this, thanks. So what else is going on? Well, I worked today. I worked from 6 to 2. Well, technically 6 to about 2:30, 2:45, because my replacement didn't show up and we had to call someone in, and I couldn't stay too late because my mom and Roger came down. Mom and Roger were going to the casinos in St. Charles, and then after I got off work, they came by, picked me up, and we went to a late lunch, early dinner at Outback Steakhouse in Swansea, and it was really nice to see them, but it was also very surreal and kind of sad, because Mom and Roger coming down and taking out to dinner was just really hard and a lot different doing it without David. Going out to dinner with my parents and not having David sitting in the booth next to me. And we went to Outback Steakhouse, where David's family has had a lot of their celebratory, birthday and anniversary and stuff type dinners. So, well, the food was good and quite filling, and a free steak dinner is always nice to have. It was still kind of sad because it was the kind of thing that, I was used to having David there for. And, to have my mom and Roger down for dinner, take me out to dinner, and no David, no one sitting next to me, all alone in the booth, a party of 3. But, let me think what else. I've got to work tomorrow. I'm off Monday. So I've really got to do laundry on Monday. And hopefully I'll find or hear something about an apartment. I've posted an ad on Craigslist saying that I was looking for a room that's available August 15th. I've answered a couple of Craigslist roommate ads. Although it seems to me that on Craigslist, a lot of the ads that I'm seeing are ads that are posted by rental websites. So instead of having an email address where I can contact someone who has a room to share, I'm directed to some commercial rental website. It's also difficult trying to find something that's in my price range, because almost everything that's being posted on Facebook, or not Facebook, on Craigslist is totally out of my price range. So I'm hoping that Brian's having better luck finding something than I am. So that's about it. So as of right now, have no room at for CTS. Have no idea where I'm going to be living in Chicago. If I don't find something soon, I'm going to have to very seriously consider not going. That's just all there is to it. I cannot move to Chicago and not have a place to live. I can't be homeless, and go to grad school. And I'm really irritated that promises were made and promises were made basically, and I had an application that I was filling out for the apartment, and then because a therapist who's never met me and someone who doesn't want to take the time to explain really what they mean by an open door policy with their friends, it's also kind of irritating because Brian is the CTS housing coordinator, yet he's finding a house housing for a student from another school before he found housing for me. At least that's kind of how I see it. So that's all that's going on. Hope you're all doing well. Just take care of yourselves and each other. So this is Chaz93, or now Charles May, because YouTube changed my name to my actual name. Signing off. So take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for watching. If you have anything that you want to ask or hear about or learn about in future journals, feel free to leave a comment here or on Facebook or on Google+, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. So I'll talk to you all later.